just went live like right now. She family, she family. Hey, how are you? It is Sunday night, 8 o'clock. I hope y'all had y'all timers ready. I'm your co-host, or excuse me, my God, listen, it's been a day. I am your host, Trish, and your co-host,
Amari, I'm here tonight.
Amari. What's up? What's up? Hey,
Hey,
Amari. What's going on?
nothing. Sundays, just getting ready for the week, tying up loose ends. How was your Sunday?
Um, well, it was it was full. I'll say it was full. And it was full of I'm binge watching on Netflix the Dahmer story. Are
Hmm.
you into that? Are you familiar with Jeffrey Dahmer? Do you know who he is? Is this just like a Gen X thing? What?
The name sounds familiar, but like nothing else is ringing a bell or coming into context. So what's the
Girl,
deal?
this motherfucker was a serial killer. He was a
Mm,
serial killer who targeted like um minorities or people that were, in a bind, financially or whatever. And he killed them, lured them into his apartment, killed them, and this crazy motherfucker like ate them. Like he was
oh,
into cannibalism. Like it was crazy. Like this shit is my son says that I traumatized him because I told him about Jeffrey Dahmer a long time ago. But my thing is he targeted a lot of young black men.
mm,
So I had to tell my young black son that crazy people out there and they like kidnapping y'all and eating y'all.
yeah. Oh my.
He said I traumatized him.
I bet you did. So is he watching it with you?
Yes, girl. I think he
Oh.
really thought I was just saying that shit to scare him, but
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm not saying that to scare you. It's a true story. This dude was
Right.
crazy. So I listen. I wouldn't. I don't know. I ain't trying to scare him, but the shit is real.
Yeah.
Shit happens. Uh, Crazy people are out there even still today, and I think that the pandemic created a lot more crazy motherfuckers. No,
I don't know
for
if it
real.
created it, but they got exposed.
Let me tell you, it exposed my ass. The shit that was deep down inside these people has come
Right.
out.
Right.
It's come out. So I don't know. Other than that, I'm fine. I am I don't know. Like I have to watch them all. I have two more to watch until I'm
How
done with
many
all
is
of them.
it?
It's 10, girl. I thought it was 5, but it's 10.
Damn.
Yes. Shout out to Niecy Nash, my friend Niecy Nash. She is in it and she did a phenomenal
Okay.
job. And in the series, her real daughter played her daughter. So I thought that was
Mm,
pretty cool.
okay.
So other than that, what have you been doing? Well, how's your Sunday?
Sunday's good. Been moving, getting, people into the house, changing out fixtures, changing out doorknobs, all
What
the
kind of
fun stuff.
doorknobs you want?
You see.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna
So
need to
I'm
come to this
all
house
like, I
party
don't know, I'm
party.
excited, but I show my excitement by like just being like creative but stressed because I have so many ideas. So it's all good things, but it comes out like I'm stressed.
Okay, okay. I get very quiet when I'm stressed out
Yeah,
because the wheels are turning.
you're right. Yeah, my mother-in-law was like, "Are you excited yet?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Oh, you're not very like, rah rah excited." And I was like, "No, just too many things like going."
Yeah, yeah. And then you want to see them come to fruition as well.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like, okay, I got this vision and I need to see this come to pass. Like it needs
exactly.
to happen. So I get it. I get it. I get it.
But on a lighter note, I have finally caved in and started watching Power Book or like the Ghost, the spin-offs. So I
With
finished
Tariq.
season 1 of Tariq and
Oh
I'm back
Lord.
in, like I'm back invested. So I gotta
You can't
start
get out.
carrying.
Once you
I
in, you in.
know. It's the power verse. So yeah, I gotta watch Kanan and then go back. So
Girl,
I'm
when
in.
I tell you Kanan is way better than Ghost.
Really?
Yes,
I
you
saw Quincy is in it. That's my boo.
ah, Poe Quincy. I ain't gonna give out the
Please don't.
I'm not gonna do no what do you call it? Spoilers or
Look, he
whatever,
not gonna
but
be in it long.
no, he
Okay. Okay.
in
I just need
it.
about 3 episodes.
He ain't done more than 3 episodes for sure.
Okay.
For sure, for sure. Looking like his daddy. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I'm just saying his daddy finer than him. I'm just saying he is still to this day. Oh, shout out to Albie Shore. Anyway, that's a Gen X thing. Isn't that funny? So like
Yeah.
Gen X, we're Albie Shore, like Team Albie Shore, and you guys are Team Quincy. And they
Yes,
look just
Quincy.
alike. It's crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah, 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 yeah. What else we got going on? Sunday. Oh, today is National Daughters Day. Did you know
I
that?
saw that. No, I didn't. I just saw your post. Somebody, a Rakia, posted too. I was like, dang. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, well, I just put my little one to sleep. So we had a little mommy daughter time.
Good, good. How's she doing?
Good. You can
How's she
tell she knows
adjusting?
which room is hers. We're not
Okay.
fully moved in, but as soon as she walks in, she knows where she going.
She goes to her little section. Oh, that's so great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's good, good, good. I'm glad. Well, I did post shout out to my daughter, uh Labrea Marshall. She was the
Tuna.
first girl, yep, Puna Pie. She was the first girl who stole my heart almost 30 years ago. And I can't even tell you about the other one who girl, the
I
heart
know
gone.
she walking. You should have seen it. Oh, Andrew was watching the video. She would just kept push and play, and then she would kiss the phone. I'm like, oh,
My little lovey-dovey is walking.
Lovey is walking.
Yep, I have no more heart. It's gone. They both stole it.
Yeah,
They stole it, stole it. And we have somebody here. Yep, she say way finer, and I'm sure she's talking about Mr.
I
Albie
gotta
Sure.
go
I'm
check
just
out
saying.
Albie Sure. Is that the one that be on 88? You know, it's like the 88, the Albie Sure show.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yeah.
But I never know, like, is he actually like host? Like, why do they? Is he the one that's doing the radio show, or is it just
Uh-huh.
like named after? Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
he
he
lives.
jamming.
Yeah, I know. Listen, without him, it wouldn't be no Quincy. I'm just saying. You
I
know.
know. I gotta check him out then.
Team Gen X in the house. I'll be sure. Denise know what's up. Yeah. But happy National Daughters Day to all the daughters out there. If
Yes.
you are a daughter, you know, hopefully your parents gave you a little extra special love today. Um, being that it's National Daughters Day. I don't think my parents know.
Very cool. Right.
Neither
Mine
one of,
didn't either,
neither one of
but
them
they
called
did.
me.
They didn't tell me, but they hooked it up today. They
Okay,
helped
good,
out.
good,
So
good. Listen, sometimes it's not in the saying, it's in the doing. So,
yeah,
you know, that works out. So, Mari, we're talking about generational wealth today.
we
What's up with that? You
are.
see
I'm
my shirt?
excited. I saw it.
Recycle
Yeah.
black money.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this here situation. What's your thought? Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of generational wealth?
I think of just like, a stability, a foundation, something, even like not even just like money, like advice, right? Like the people that came before you, able to pass down like good knowledge, good habits. And then, yes, with that comes, whether it be money or property or um like I think of all those things when I think of generational wealth, like just a plethora of things that you can pass down to the generations after you that can really set them up in a good way financially.
Mhm, mhm. And while this subject is something that we definitely need to be talking about, there's also something to be said where I don't know if it's necessarily in your guys' generation, but in our generation, it was always a thing that, kids stay in a kid's place. And while I
Yes.
get that, how are they supposed to know about the generational wealth coming from you if you're not willing to talk about money in front of them? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yeah.
I think we need to get away from that. We don't talk about money in front of the kids. I think you kind of have to. You have to talk about money because how else are they going to know? Um, I when I was younger, I wished, or when I got older, I wish that my parents would have talked to me more about money than they did. Um, they talked to me a little bit about it, and I observed. I was very observant, so I observed a lot. But school is only going to teach you so much. You
Yeah.
really need that real life experience when it comes to money.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your thoughts? What are you going to um, teach your child or your children about money?
I feel the same. I feel like I wish my parents would have talked to me more about money. I think that, we were very blessed that we always had money, where I can't say, I ever had to worry about, being involved in us having to pay this, or it wasn't anything that came up in our household, which is a good thing. But just, once I was on my own in college, I really did learn just for myself, like how to make money work, how to budget. But I can see how some of those things were unhealthy, kind of living, paycheck to paycheck, knowing how to, call and get a payment plan, which, yes, I was a college student. So maybe you say that's to be expected, but those conversations weren't had to, save your money, or, don't you don't live above your means. And so I think now at 30, I've developed some good skills. And I have parents that are good at saving. I have a grandma that, is very financially savvy. And so it's been me asking them for, that good advice, or just really seeking their guidance. And I will say my husband is a really good saver. I learned that, early on when we were dating. And that was something that really attracted me to him, because I knew that that was something I was lacking in. Where it's
Hmm.
like, okay, yeah, if you have those skills, I can see how those are very useful. And so that's something we play off of in our relationship, because I mean, it's nice to be able to learn from someone else. It doesn't have to just be family.
Hmm.
um, even your spouse may be better at something, especially when it comes to finances, and just being okay to say, like, okay, you can take the lead on this, and I've learned a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. Yeah, because I'm definitely the one, like, I want to wild out. Like, let's go. We
Yeah.
got it. Let's do it. Let's go on this. Let's do what we got to do. And my husband's like, wait, hold on. Um, Not
Yeah,
right now. Not this month. Maybe next month. So you do need that balance. I get it. I
I
get it.
think so. Yeah.
But listen, we're talking generational wealth today. We have a guest in the house, Miss Robbie Wright with Robbie Wright Financial Services. She's here with us today to kind of unpack this thing called generational wealth and help us get one step closer to maintaining our generational wealth and, getting uh, easy about talking about it. She's going to talk about the services that she offers, such as life insurance, burial insurance, things that you kind of may not want to talk about,
Yeah.
um, uh, building generational wealth, of course, education, debt, taxes, and more. So we are going to welcome our guest here, Miss Robbie Wright.
Mm.
Hey y'all,
Woohoo!
hey girls,
Hey,
hey
it's
girls,
good to
hey.
see you.
How y'all doing? Hey Amari, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing amazing. Thank you guys so much for having me on tonight.
Of
I was
Thank you
listening
for
to y'all
coming.
yeah.
conversation in the back room, and
Okay.
it was like Trish was saying, like when we were coming up, we did not talk about money. We
Mm.
did not. Kids had a place, and it was not in grown folks' space for sure. And
Hmm.
so when I wish my parents, well, my mom would have talked to me more about it, but they can only teach us where they at.
Mhm.
And so I think a lot of times we don't get a lot of that information because they don't know. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So sometimes it's up to us because we have the ability to break generational curses. And so
Right.
it's up to us to start it so where now we can tell our kids and their kids can tell their kids, so we can just stop the mindset of being broke all the time.
Yeah.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because you're right. It's a mindset thing too. That has a lot to
absolutely.
do with it. A lot to do with it.
That is first and more first and foremost, because I think, you know, in the Bible it always says how a man thinketh, so is he. So because we come sometimes from scarcity, we have a scarcity mindset. And so if
Mm-hmm.
you have that mindset, you're going to be living from paycheck to paycheck, struggling. So you changing your mindset is one of the hardest things that I think that can come from generational wealth. I think changing the mindset is hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
process.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up the Bible because a lot of people like to say money is the root of all evil. Money is the root of all evil, but they kind of miss one little word. The love of money is the root of all
Yes.
evil. So if that is like you love like that, you're loving that above everything, then it could lead to some evil things. But
But if you notice,
um,
it's always broke people who don't want to talk about money. So
well,
if you get in certain rooms in certain circles talking about money and stuff, is not going to be a big deal
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because that's their
Yeah.
conversation. So sometimes you got to watch your circle.
Right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Well, listen, for those that may be wondering, for those that still don't know, Miss Robbie,
Yes.
what is generational wealth? What is this thing that we're talking about tonight?
Well, generational wealth basically is passing down money, assets, investments, real estate, even family businesses from like to your children and then from their children to their children. So it's just a constant, like you said, to set them up in a stable environment and stable financially. So it's just a passing down of monetary valuable things to help them be successful further down the line.
Hmm. Hmm. And then why is it important to kind of learn about generational wealth and how to maneuver through it?
Like I said, it just helps stabilize the future of, because I it's like I know I want my name or my legacy to mean something for my children and my grandchildren. So I think it's important because you're showing them that anything is possible. Oh, I don't know what that
I'm
is.
not sure if that. Can you hear that?
I think it might be Mari stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna take her out. Okay, yeah, that was
Oh,
her.
she gonna jump back in.
That was
But at
her.
the same
We'll
time,
wait till she get her technical difficulties together and then come back on in because I don't know what that was. All right.
Oh, you
But
guys
we
can
oh
see
there we
me?
go.
oh, there you go, there you go.
It sounded
Can you
like
guys see
a
me?
robot.
Yeah, you sounded like a
Now we
robot
can,
for
yes.
a minute.
Oh, oops.
But just setting your family up financially so they don't have to worry and struggle about the things that we had to worry and struggle through.
Hmm.
That's why I think it's important. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then we were kind of talking about this a little bit earlier. So the only way that the next generation is going to know about, the real estate or the businesses or, whatever it is that you're passing down is to actually talk about it. And not to
Absolutely.
just talk about it, but to show them how it works. How do you do this? How does it work? What happens? You know what I mean? So you not only have to talk about it, but you have to actually show them how to do it and be successful in order for it to pass down to the next generation and to the next generation. So um you did talk about real estate, you talked about some other things. What are some ways that generational wealth can be obtained?
First of all, everything in the beginning, like you said, is mindset. Mindset. Um, in a way, you can build a business and pass it down. It's a way you can take advantage of life insurance. It just depends on the type of life insurance that you would have. Of course, the stock market is a good way. Um, Creating multiple streams of income is another good way. Invest in real estate, of course. And talk, like you said, talk to your children about the personal finances. I think when you paying bills and set them down, show them what a budget is. Don't just tell them they can't have something or tell them why they can't have something. You know what I mean? Show them how to pay a power bill. So when they get out there, they know how to function. Because sometimes I think because we struggled, we don't want our kids to struggle. But in that, we don't teach them anything. We make it easy. And then when they get out there and they're older and we wonder like why you don't know this, it's like now we want to microwave them. And it's like, no, we didn't give them the tools to learn that.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's good. That's real good. Um, so how soon is too soon? Like, how soon should we start teaching these kids about generational wealth and what it is and how to obtain it?
As soon as possible. As
Hmm.
soon as possible. Because, some kids pick it up easy. Some kids you're going to have to work a little bit more with. But I think as soon as they can comprehend, give me $1 or show me $1. Can I buy something from the store? You know what I'm saying? Oh, why can't I have that? I think that is the most valuable time. Be like, let's sit down and let's start talking about these finances. Let me show
Mm,
you how it actually works and what's going on. And of course, they're not going to be able to comprehend it all, but you can start. You can start as early as possible.
hmm.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Now, is there a cutoff age? Like, is it ever too late, right, to talk about generational wealth? Let's just say I don't know. I'm 47.
Right.
Uh, I'm just saying.
I
I'm
know. Be like,
still
I'm right behind you, but I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm 47. Like, for someone like me, Gen X, is it too late to start building generational wealth or to start, talking about it or accessing it?
Absolutely not. Long as you have breath in your body, it is not too late to talk about generational wealth or even start building generational wealth.
Hmm.
It is right now we're living in an entrepreneur world. Everybody's an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
People are leaving their jobs to pursue their dreams and their dreams. So it's like even 50 and 60. I mean, I left a job of 22 years to pursue mine. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Right. So it's just like when you know that you want more and you're just willing to sacrifice. And like Steve Harvey said, just jump out there and jump on
Hmm.
faith. You just be like, let's see what it's going to be. Let's just do it. Because
Yeah.
I want to break the generational curse. So yes, it's like I'm going to establish generational wealth for my children and their children's children.
Yeah. Yeah. I also want to point out that Steve Harvey did say that he's spending all his money while he's here and he's not leaving his kids nothing. I remember him saying that one time and I cringed. I was like, dude, like, why would you say that? And I think that he's like totally 100% like, no, this is my money. I made this money while I was here. You figure it out. And I don't agree with that. I think that these kids didn't ask to be here. That's literally what I think. And I think that if you can make their life a little bit easier, then that you should. And why wouldn't you want your legacy to be a little bit better than what yours was? And then that one to be better than what yours was. And then that one, you know what I mean? Like, then they'll talk about you like, oh, my great great grandmother. I want to be that. My great great grandmother taught me or taught my mom or my grandmother this, and then you carry it down. Like, I want to be talked about 200 years from now if this damn place is still here. These motherfuckers is crazy.
Tell the truth. Tell the
This
truth.
world is crazy.
But you would be amazed at how many people think like Steve Harvey thinks. Trust me, he's just one that's bold enough to say it. But it's a lot of people who have money and have wealth. Like, I'm not leaving my kids anything. You would be amazed at that. They'd be like, if I had to work for it, let them go and work and see what they're gonna do.
I wonder if he has any grandkids, because here's
I
how my thing is this. Even if I felt that way about me not leaving nothing for my kids, I can't say that about my grandbaby. I'm leaving my baby something. I don't give a I, I might not leave your mama nothing, but I'm leaving you something. So that my thing, you know what I mean? Like, that's generational. So your mama get it by default because of you.
Right.
And I want to make sure she gets you what I left you.
I
But
do think that it's pretty common, but I was going to ask you, I know you work with, different people, you hear that, but do you feel like that's something that you hear mostly in like the Black community? Because I was just talking to my parents about that and I'm like, sometimes I think that is how a lot of them feel, right? It's like, no, we had to struggle, so you gonna struggle. Like, you gonna figure it out. I had to figure it out.
yes, I think sometimes in our community we have a tendency to think that if we work harder, that it means so much more. We always in grind mode. Everything's not grind all the time. You know what I mean? So it's mostly in the Black community where I do hear that. You know what I mean? Sometimes, white folk like to give their kids everything. So
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
No, I've seen a lot of them leave them motherfuckers straight out of everything. They don't get shit. I mean, cracking up like, damn, you ain't leave them nothing. Nope.
man, but yeah, and this, so, but I think in our community, I think now we becoming more where we're giving our kids like Trish said, not the kids, maybe the grandkids, the generation actors. Sometimes we skipping that generation and we like, okay, let me go ahead next. We like next.
oh,
No. Me personally, I'm leaving my kid stuff, but through my kid, she better make sure my grandbaby got what she need. Shit,
I know that's
or else
right.
I'm coming back haunting every motherfucker. I'm just saying, that's my baby right there.
But I think a lot of parents too don't leave their kids something because they know the dynamics of your family. If you know they're gonna go in here and spend up everything that you done worked hard for, you know what I mean? Why am I leaving it to you if I wanted to go ahead and keep on going down generation to generation? You know what I mean? If I know you're gonna sell it in a hot 5 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna skip you. And I'll see the next thing.
So that leads me into my next question. What about trusts? Tell us about trusts and what those are, because I know that just a little bit I do know about them is that you can kind of dictate how your money is. You know what I mean? So if you do have somebody who, let's just say, on drugs, strung out, whatever, you can dictate how much money per month or whatever this person can. Tell us about trust and what are trusts?
So a trust is, like you said, it's just the documents that is going to give strict instruction that says how you want your stuff laid out and who and where you want it to go to. Now, with the only difference between a trust and a will is a will can be contested sometimes. Because if you say, okay, I'm not going to leave my daughter something, but I'm going to leave my son something. Sometimes with a will, she can be like, well, hold on a second. We about to go to court, big baby, because I want my stuff too. And it can be tied up in probate and just be a big mess. But a trust lays out everything detail by detail, how you want it to be left.
And probate is what? Just
when you go to court and they in there fighting over your stuff.
Got it.
Because you don't remember when Aretha Franklin died, she didn't have a trust, she didn't have a will. They were out there fighting about her stuff and who was going to get what. It just
is her money still tied up?
I don't know. But that, I mean, it's just sad because, money and death bring out the worst in people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why don't you set that up? Because I told my mom, I was like, now listen, get a trust and say what you want. Because I don't want to be tripping with my siblings. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, say what you want, lay it out so everybody knows what the plan is and everybody knows what to expect.
Right. Well, I will say Prince did not have a will. Prince didn't have trust, anything. And so I believe that his money just now, I think I just heard about it, was released to his siblings, to all of his siblings. I don't know exactly
only
how.
This much money. Prince had this much money and they only gave them this much money.
Isn't that sad?
And I was like, ew. But if he would have made a trust, he could have dictated how he wanted it.
But it's unfortunate he didn't have any children. I really, that makes me sad, all that talent that he had, and like, you didn't pass that talent down. My things, you can have some kids.
I think sometimes, like you said, certain things people don't want to talk about. Because I remember I told somebody, I was like, you should get a life insurance policy on your kids. And she was like, girl, I don't want to think about that. My kids ain't gonna die. And I was
my God.
But it's like, and because life insurance back then was only for burial stuff. Life insurance for when you die. But now life insurance is not for that. You can use it for an array of different things. It's not just when you die.
We'll talk about life insurance.
Even chronic illnesses. You know what I mean? You can use it to pull. It's just so many things life insurance is for. And I just tell people, I'll be like, you insure your phone, but you want to insure your life. And it costs just as much. It probably costs just as much, or maybe a little bit more than cell phone insurance.
Wow.
Depending on
I never even thought about it like that. Never. That's
crazy. We go hard for these cell phones.
Right.
But we're planning to GoFundMe in a minute.
Right. Right.
Circling
Yeah.
back to the trust, is
Mhm.
there two things? Is there like an age limit to where you can make one, and then is there like a dollar amount? Is there a certain amount of assets you have to create one?
No, there's not a certain amount of assets. Whatever you have right now, you can do a trust. So if your baby's like 3 years old, you can say, okay, once my baby hits 18, this is what I want her to have. You can put an age
Mm,
stipulation on it. You absolutely can, because you don't want to
gotcha.
pass away and your baby 5 and you have $5 million. Now this baby got $5 million. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you can put an age stipulation on it, and you can break down how you want her to have it.
Mm,
You know what
mm-hmm.
I mean? So a
Mhm.
trust gives you a lot of things that you can do like that.
I
So
like that.
if you and we'll talk about we were going to talk about the life, so maybe it'll be a better question later, but I was going to ask, can you also in a trust talk about the way that like your life insurance policy would be broken up, because they'll just give you like a sum, if
They can give
you
you a
know.
lump with a life insurance policy. You can get a lump sum, or they can actually take it out in payments.
Okay.
So it depends on how they want to take it out, or how you have it, how you verify you want to distribute it to them.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah,
when you set up your life insurance policy, you you set that up at that time. Okay, if
absolutely. For your
something
beneficiary.
happened.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely. You can. Yes,
gotcha.
absolutely. You
Okay.
absolutely can, because you can dictate it, and then you can, with a will while you're living, you can always change your will. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And with a trust while you're living too, you can change it, but just know it's just ironclad. So once you pass, the trust is what the trust is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, k- eh, what's a poor man's will? And is that still valid today? And I want to say, from what I know of what it is you kind of write out, this is what I want to happen. You mail this letter certified to yourself and like never open it. Is that still a thing?
Now I'm gonna tell you, I think it's still valid if it's someone who wouldn't fight it. Do you know what I mean? If you be like,
Okay.
well, this is what he wanted and this is what we're gonna do. But like we said, death bring out the ugly in people. So sometimes it's not gonna be cut and dry like that. Depending on who
Gotcha.
you're dealing with, what kind of
Mhm.
family members you got. Once they wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Um, and then how can people ensure, I mean, we kind of talked about it, of course, talk about it. We talked about the trust, but how can people ensure that their next generation carries on this legacy?
Like you said, talking about the finances, make a business plan, pass it down. If you have a business, bring the kids into the business.
Hmm.
Show them, because one, you're gonna see one if they show interest. You know what I mean? And then you're grooming them at the same time. Because, like we said, if you have 3 kids, you're gonna be like, well, this one is not interested at all, but this one is. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So it's like,
Okay.
talk to them, and then to me, it's like, have meetings, see where they at. Because what I like about the millennials nowadays, everybody an entrepreneur. They will entrepreneur anything. You hear me?
Yeah.
They out here in these streets and they entrepreneur. Do you hear me?
I love the millennials. I do. It's like I'm
Yeah.
fascinated with them because
Right,
they don't.
'cause I be like, man. So it's like, pull out your kids' creative sides. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Use it to your advantage. If your kid like making lemonade, well, baby, let me start you with the entrepreneur stuff. Let's make some lemonade and show you how to
Hmm.
start selling and breaking down and budgeting his little money or her little money that they're
Hmm.
gonna get. Start it from the beginning, but pull them in. I think we
Yeah.
got too many secrets and we have the wrong secrets.
Mhm.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a lot of misinformation given about building wealth?
Um, I think it's a lot of information. The only misinformation I would say to me is sometimes they make it seem like it's unobtainable.
Mm.
I'm,
Mhm.
'Cause I think sometimes we think, well, that can't be me. I can't do that. You know
Got
what I
you.
mean? So I think that's the only misinformation, is they think it's unobtainable, but it's a whole lot of information. So it's like, basically you need to do your homework. You know what I mean? That don't just go out here flying off the ledge a little bit. Do your homework and investigate and see where you're going and where you want to go.
Yeah,
Pick,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, pick somebody that sort of you can model off in a sense. You know what I mean? Because success
Yeah.
leaves breadcrumbs. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
And all we have to do is follow and see how it's going to lead you, but you do need to do your homework.
Okay. Okay. So for people that believe that they are building generational wealth, what are some checkpoints that um that they can, know if they're on the right track?
You can see how your finances are increasing. You know what I'm saying? See what you're doing, how you're investing your money.
Mhm.
Um, Finances, because you're really gonna tell about the finances, the real estate, you know what I mean? Just it's just so many different things. Just always just paying attention to what's going on with your money and how it's being distributed and what's coming in. That's very important.
So if you don't have some real estate, that might be an area that you need to kind of key in on and say, okay, let me see if what I can do about buying a piece of real estate,
Or
because
even a
I don't
piece of
have that.
land. Yeah, or a piece of
Mhm.
land, just depending on what you into. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Just depending on
Hmm.
what you're into. Because everybody's not into the whole real estate. Some people think it's too much work. But
Got you.
sometimes you can get the real estate and have somebody else manage it.
Yeah.
It's a way around everything. So all
Yeah.
you have to do is just do your homework and watch your finances.
Hmm.
Watch your finances and be disciplined about what you're doing. When they say write the vision, make it plain, write the vision, make it plain so you know from A to B where you want to go.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm.
Um, I know that this administration just approved the whole student loan debt forgive. I don't know about forgiveness, but
Right.
what
I know
what is it
Amari
given,
like
like?
me because I'm like, wait a minute, because I'm waiting on it. I'm waiting.
Ain't,
I think October
ain't no
1.
forgiveness.
Yes, it
I
is.
think I think October 1 you can like start applying or whatever. But can you talk about the impact of the student loan debt? Like how has that, I guess, affected the building the generational wealth?
Student loan debt can affect it, but there's certain ways that you can apply for like student loan forgiveness, like we're gonna talk about, because they're gonna get
Hmm.
overwhelmed with that. They're gonna just get bombarded with that. You know what I mean? There's a student loan where you can file student loan bankruptcy. You know what I mean? It's just so many entities,
Now,
and
what is that
I
about?
wait a minute
so
now.
you don't
You
have,
done
now
hit
I
on some
don't know a
shit
lot
that
of
I ain't never
that.
heard of.
Yes. So I'm still doing some homework on it, but there is a such thing as student loan bankruptcy. But I'm sure you have to be probably almost, destitute to probably
Damn
get it.
near, damn
Yeah.
near homeless with your sign made on the
Right.
corner, and
Yeah.
people have to vouch that they didn't seen you at that same corner for the last 36 months.
You know what
Which
I'm
is
saying?
just so, because that's never you. If you would think if you went to school, if you got student loan debt, then that would not be you, and that's just really unfortunate. That
Yeah.
is no way
And the
out of
sad
it.
part is like there's so many grants and different opportunities for scholarships. I think when we go to school or we go to some kind of trade, we automatically think we have to get a loan because it's the
Mm,
easiest thing to get. But it's like, why don't you
mm,
do a little research and see if there's a grant available? You know what I mean?
mm,
Instead of putting yourself in all this debt.
mm,
Yeah.
Because the
mm.
student loan debt is for real, for real. They
Yeah,
want
we know.
they want
I'll tell you, I my daughter, by way of me, applied for hella scholarships because I didn't really want that for her. You know what I mean? So I did. We got a few scholarships for her. That first year before she left. So you're right. There's money out there, and people aren't applying for them. They're waiting for people to say, to write a damn essay. Essay could be jacked up,
Mhm.
but you're gonna win because you was the only one that entered the contest.
Yeah,
Right.
I think we just do it because it's just easy. Be like, oh, let me do this loan right quick, and they coming back. You know what I mean? It's coming back, and it's coming back with some interest. So I think people
Hmm.
should more do a little bit of research and look into the grants because it's a
Yeah.
lot of.
So what are some things that some people with young children can start putting into place to create wealthy habits for their children, or set them up for financial success?
Budgets. A kid can have a budget. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Life insurance. You know what I'm saying? Um, bank accounts,
Mm-hmm.
showing them how to manage their money. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then invest in your kids. You know what I mean? Invest in their creativity. You know, if even if they have a little business and it doesn't go well, they still need to know what failure is, and they can't be afraid to
Mm,
fail at the same time. You know what I mean?
gotcha.
So it's like letting them be what they can be with our support. Now we only gonna do so much, but letting them be what they can be with our support. And talking to them about these finances is no secret. They need to know how a household runs.
Right.
How,
Right.
how much it costs to fill up a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Them $100 sneakers you got. Let me tell you what I had to do for them $100 sneakers. Well, they not $100 no more.
Girl.
I just aged myself. I'm so sorry. They're about 500.
Girl, they at least
Right.
two. But listen, some people used to
So
do some
even
strange things for them sneakers.
Man, it's so funny because our kids never knew what we had to do to get what they wanted.
Right.
They just knew we either got it or we just be like, nah, you can't have that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So now, more so, I think now we have a tendency to mess them up a little bit because we give them a little bit more without making them work for it.
Mm-hmm.
so even like allowance, maybe like an allowance system.
Yeah. And when we go to the movies, be like, okay, where your $10 at though?
Right.
Yeah, so let me show you what it costs to be out here in these streets and want to play and entertain. It's not just fun and games because I got a credit card and a debit card.
Mm-hmm.
And show them about real money because sometimes plastic you can swipe that so much you forget the real money part.
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
know how to count the real paper money. Yeah, they need to learn. They need to know
That's
that.
good.
Absolutely.
That's good. And how often should we be updating our portfolio or our finances?
It depends on where you are. You can do it as often as monthly. You know what I'm saying? Annually, 6 months, quarterly. It just depends on where you are and how fast it's changing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's changing often, you might want to say, "Let me do this monthly." If
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
gradual change, you might be like, "Okay, every 3 to 4 months, I could check it out."
Right. Well, with this economy right now and how volatile it is, I actually recently called, my company where my 401k ish type situation is. And I was like, look, I'm losing. I need to get in a more stable, like right now, the way everything is, put me in something that's going to just keep me stable. And then when the economy gets back going, maybe I'll get back on this aggressive thing. So I think a lot of people right now need to be reevaluating their things the way this economy is going. You may be losing money that you don't have to be losing.
Right. And they do have certain plans because, when you're an entrepreneur, there's a way that you can still have a retirement plan. When you work for somebody, there's the 401k where most times the employer will match. But I
Mm,
think you should take advantage of those plans, especially. And to me, it's like max them out while you're young. Max them
yeah,
out while you're young so they're more beneficial to you as you get older.
right, right,
Yes.
right. Okay. I'm not sure what happened to Amari. I don't know if she
Where'd
went
she
out on
go?
purpose. I don't know. I don't know if she went out on purpose or not.
I'm still here, just charging.
Oh, okay. We can hear you, but we don't see you. But okay. All right. Okay. So is a financial advisor necessary to kind of help you manage these finances or manage everything that you have going on, whether it's your retirement, your life insurance, like all the things? What do you think about a financial advisor?
It depends on your dynamics. If you a person that's not good with money, you may need one. But if you pretty sound with money, but as your monies are getting more complex, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's when you pull in a financial advisor. So it just depends on where you are. If you're like, I'm not good with money, I know this, so I need some help, putting my stuff where it needs to be. Financial advisor then.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Mm-hmm.
say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, for the most part, I got it, but it's getting a little heavy. I'm making more money right here. Financial advisor. It just depends on where you are and what works best for you.
Got you. Got you. All right. And then what about like what are the different, I guess, retirement um avenues, whether it's, your savings or your
Mhm.
IRAs or 401ks, or whatever. Like, what are some different things that people can pour into to help them when they do retire?
Like you said, the traditional IRAs, the Ross, the simple plans. IULs are really good, especially once you start them off young and you fund them right.
Now, what's an IUL? I don't know what that is.
It is a, hold on, let me pull up my notes for you so I can make sure I give you the right suffix for it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Uh-oh. I don't know where I
From the
went.
way from the way you're saying, it must be something that, like, I guess it's for a child or something. Maybe they can't
It can
get
be
it.
for an adult too, but it's better to fund it when
Oh.
you're young. It can be for an adult too,
Oh.
but you just have to fund it the correct way so it can be beneficial. But it's an index universal life insurance plan.
Okay. Okay.
So it takes the money that you made through your income and then
Uh-huh.
you can pay it that way instead of it coming like out of your check.
Okay, so then it's like a pre-tax type situation. So it's not like, I mean, is that what's the benefit, I guess, of it?
Like you can set your baby up to have a good start on generational wealth with it.
Mhm. Okay.
Yes. hmm
Okay. All right, good. Um, okay. And now, are there any like books or videos or any other kind of resources that people can kind of tune into or tap into to get, gain some more knowledge or gain some more information, or about generational wealth?
It is, man, oh my goodness. It's so much information nowadays. It is a plethora of information. You can go to YouTube and pull up any video on generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? They have
Hmm.
so many audiobooks. Like sometimes Rich Dad Poor Dad, that's a good one. People start off with that. But it's so
Hmm.
much information. The only thing I say is like if you're gonna watch the videos, just do your homework. Everything is still do your homework because what worked for them might not necessarily work for you in that way. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But you can cater around it, but it may not. You might not have to do it just like they did it. But I think YouTube,
Gotcha.
YouTube is amazing to me. It has the most stuff I've ever seen before.
Listen,
You can Google
I
anything.
I always say, if people say they don't know how to do something, they don't want to know how to do it, because YouTube University, let me tell you something.
Because let me tell you, you'll come out of there with a master's. I'm trying to tell you. I am trying to tell you. You will come.
Yes.
And then let me touch on it. If you are an employee, please make sure you are having some disability insurance taken out of your check. Because I
Mm.
think sometimes, like, I know my daughter, for instance, and I don't mean to put her on blast. She's probably going to talk about me. She didn't have any disability coming out of her check. And so she went to Cancun and she broke her ankle.
Oh no.
So now you broke your ankle. You looking at me. I'm looking at you. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, so where the disability insurance at? Where we got? And she was like, oh no, mom, I don't have that. And I'm like, girl, what you say? So it's like that's
Wow.
and because it doesn't cost much for them to take it out your check. Having
Mhm.
a nest egg for emergencies is very. You should give yourself a limit and say, this is my limit that I want in my bank account, and I will not go beyond this limit.
Mm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
you will have some money in case something happens that is like off the chain crazy that you never thought would happen.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Such as going to Africa and getting malaria. I am not gonna say who I'm talking about, but I'm just saying
You
it can
bet not.
happen.
You bet
It
not.
can happen. It can happen.
Oh my
Girl.
goodness.
I was like, what? Anyway, yeah. But listen, thank you so much. Is there anything else that we might have missed? Amari, do you have any other questions that you had that might have come up, during
Um,
discussion?
yeah, so I was going to ask, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what would a financial advisor do? Cuz just personally I've had a few I guess you would call them life insurance. I had an IUL. And so I met with someone, I sat down, I guess he would refer to himself as a financial advisor. And I got one and I had it for a few years. And then I ended up like being approached by someone from Primerica. And so then they were talking about like a mutual fund type of thing, plus the life insurance. So I ultimately switched over, but they were saying like, oh, the IUL, it's not how they described it and things like that. And so I even asked him, like, well, why would they? Obviously, they're trying to sell something, right? But then it's like, for you too. So how do I know in a few years someone else is not going to come along and say, "Oh, that IUL you got, oh, that Primerica, that mutual fund you got." Like I feel like there's always then someone a few years later going to be like, "Oh, they got you."
Yes. And too, like when you said he called himself a financial advisor, that was scary for me already because he called himself one. You know what I mean? It's
Well,
like,
he was pretty much a middleman because he signed me up for my IUL, but then I could just go straight through who my IUL company was. So I didn't need him to do it. So that's why I'm saying like he called himself a financial advisor, but he was really just, routing me to the life insurance company.
and then even though Amari, they sign you up for these things, it's still read about what the policy does for you. You know what I mean? Because we can sign up
Mhm.
for life insurance, and some people just sign on the line and they just be like, "Oh, I have life insurance."
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't know the advantages or even the disadvantages of having it. So it's
Mhm.
like read your life insurance policy. Just
Right.
because they tell you means you still need to find out for yourself.
Mhm.
Why they're signing you up. If you have questions, you make them go through those questions for you until you feel comfortable and you understand what they're talking about. And
Hmm.
sometimes you have to tell them, don't talk to me with your lingo, talk to me where I can understand and we on the same page.
Yeah, yeah.
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 So I just think that just knowing what you have yourself, not going off what they're talking about,
Mhm.
you being self-educated on what you have.
And I think that does come with, as we're talking, or I was saying with generational wealth, just having those conversations so that you know what the questions are to even ask. Because I felt way more informed speaking, just more recently to the Primerica people, because it's like now I do have some assets and now I do
Mhm.
know the lingo better than when I initially signed up for that IUL, just thinking, oh yeah, like this sounds like a good thing, and I need to have some life insurance. And so they explained it to me like basically the IUL you guys were saying, he explained it to me like then you can borrow from yourself versus borrowing from the bank. And
Right.
so what the, Primerica guy was saying was like, yeah, well, by the time you pull that out, you're still going to get interest. So why are you going to, they're going to charge you interest on your own money. And so then it's like, okay, that makes sense to me now. But so I think that also comes with, just having the conversations. And now I know to talk to my daughter, to talk to my husband, or people that ask, so they know like the right questions to ask.
And I
Hmm.
think sometimes we are afraid to ask questions. Why are you afraid to ask questions about your own money? It's
Hmm.
Mhm.
your money. So
Yeah.
it's like ask questions so you know what's going on with your own money. And
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have to tell you what it is and research yourself.
Yeah. Good. This has all been some wonderful advice. I hope our audience has taken away some nuggets. If anybody has any comments, definitely put them in the chat so we can ask Miss Robbie before um, she leaves with all this wonderful information. So, Miss Robbie, what are some things that you can do for people, and then like how can they contact you for those services?
Well, they can contact me at wmsrobbie@gmail. That is the
Hmm.
first way they can contact me. Thank you, Trish. Yes. I do have an office phone number, which is 702-240-4967.
Oh,
No, we can use
I
this one
got
too.
the other one.
I was about to give you this one too. I was about to
Okay.
give you that one, Trish. It's
Wait,
okay.
let me
So
let me let me put let me put the local one. 702.
okay. 702-240-4967. That's the actual office number.
7. All right, hold on. Let's see. Let's see. I hope I did it right. Is that the right number?
Yes, you did. You did.
All right.
And now, or the other one, Trish, the 888 for Robbie. They could contact me there also.
Perfect.
And
Perfect.
sometimes
Perfect.
I want us to understand too, sometimes having Mentors are a good thing. You know what I mean? So just to be able to model off or to give you some good information. I have a business mentor, and then I also have a personal mentor. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think those are some good avenues to have. And like my business mentor tells me all the time, he's like, you can't do everything by yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited to, if it's something that I don't have, I do have a network that can refer you to what you have access
Gotcha.
to a network. Let me say that, access to a network. That
Okay. All
is something
right.
that you need. Yeah.
And I stumbled on Miss Robbie's Instagram page because I don't know, Instagram is my social media drug of choice. She can be reached
But it is a
at
drug,
Robbie
ain't it?
Wright.
Ain't it sad? It's
Yes,
a drug. That's so sad.
yes, it is. It is. Wait, we have one comment in here. Let's see. Somebody's asking. Oh, somebody's just giving you a thumbs up because
Oh.
apparently they had their notepad and some paper and they were taking notes. So that's awesome.
Good.
That's awesome.
I know I needed you a couple weeks ago. I had got a new job and I was going through the insurance packet and a lot of those things. I'm like, I never heard of it. Like a laundry
Mm,
list of
That's
things
how
you
they do.
just
You try to
never
throw
heard
you off
of.
so you can just sign it. So you can
Right.
just, let me pick this and just sign it.
Exactly.
Let me not read it.
right.
Let me just pick it and sign it. That's how they get
This
you. But we
So
gotta
the
read.
disability, I'm like, okay, I gotta go back
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Make sure you have
add
that.
that.
Yeah, add that. Please add it.
You don't want to go to Cancun. Don't go to
Yeah.
Cancun.
Because I
Next
told
time
my
you go to
daughter, I was
Cancun,
like,
you're gonna be like,
"Mom."
oh, you know what? Let me add this disability.
my disability.
Yes, yes. Please do. Please do.
Well, thank you, Robbie, so much for
Anytime.
these gems that you've dropped on us tonight. We have some things to think about. I'm gonna definitely call you because I do want more information about the trust, and I want to get set up with that. So I will be giving you a call sometime this week. Regarding that, and you guys make sure that you guys reach out to Robbie if you didn't ask your question during the show. Go ahead and email her on her Gmail. Um, and thank you so much. We appreciate you coming
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank
in.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me on. It's been great. It's been fun.
Yes, awesome, awesome. See you soon.
Okay.
I'll
Thanks,
talk to you
guys.
soon.
Good
All right.
night.
All right, Amari. Listen, I'm feeling ready, ready to
No,
get some
yeah.
things going. So
Yeah.
well, good, good, good. I know you just got your property as well, so I just want to make sure you get things set up with that. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll be calling you to make sure you got certain things done on that.
Okay.
But congratulations
Thank you.
on some real estate. So you got
Yeah.
that box checked off,
Checked off.
you
Yeah.
know. So that's
Mhm.
amazing. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we get out of here?
I don't think so. Sorry for the technical difficulties tonight.
That's okay.
Man.
We know you're in transition and
Yeah.
you trying to move and get settled. So, when is your day to be moved in?
I think
When
we're gonna do next weekend. Move the beds, which means we'll be able to sleep there.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. You got your
another week
Wi-Fi?
here.
'Cause our show is Sunday
I
at 8 o'clock.
know. I'll
Get your
have it by
Wi-Fi set
then.
up.
I know this week is. I know. I for Envy Energy. I had to get to the post office, so slowly but surely. I wish I could just take a week off work and get all this stuff done, but
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, you'll get it done. All right. Well, where can people reach you? Maybe not this week, but maybe next week because she's busy.
Give me about 2 weeks. No, you can
Give me a couple weeks.
Email me. I'm gonna get it.
Oh wait. Oh shit, I'm all
It's
fucked up today. All right, go.
email me ajmw.pagg@gmail. You can find me on Instagram, all things balanced _ W Amari. Or you can give me a call, send a text message, leave a voicemail. Again, I will get it 714-794-9774.
All right, all right. And then of course, you guys can reach me at piece on Instagram at pieces.of.she, on Twitter at piecesofshe1. And if you want to email me, go ahead and email me at Trish at piecesofshe.com. We hope you guys got a lot of great information here, great jewels. If you guys need more information, please feel free, reach out to Robbie. If you want to ask me to ask her something, I'll do that as well. Sometimes people are shy, and that's fine. But thank you so much for hanging out with us this week. Put in the comments what you guys want to talk about next week. We'll
Yeah,
know. We'll
topics.
know what we want to talk about. Anybody want to talk about anything in particular next week? Amari, do you have anything you want to talk about?
I gotta check my list.
Okay.
But nothing. I've been waiting for this one. So
Uh-huh.
I'm excited. Oh gosh, my mom's comment. So yeah, I'm excited about this one, and then I don't know. We gotta have Vari come back.
Yes, yes, we
Yeah.
do. So this
So
is episode 6. So we have 4 more episodes, you guys, in
okay, 4 episodes.
9.
Yeah, let's get some good
So
ones.
we came in hot. We need to leave hot. We need this
Yeah,
whole season to just be hot.
yeah,
So if you
yeah.
guys have anything, make sure you guys email us and let us know um, uh, that you guys want to talk about that. I don't know what happened to all my stuff. It just left. Oh
Oh,
wait. Oh, yep.
yeah.
Ari's coming back for sure. Him and his wife and his
And
girlfriend.
yes,
We need we got answers.
we need.
And we also, I just want to give a shout out to Sway. Sway had the
Sway
answers
had the
10
answers.
years
Now that
ago.
I know, yes. Sway had the answers. We knew that though at the time. We knew
We
Sway had the
did.
answers.
We did. So all right, y'all, she family. Love y'all
Good
until next
night. Be safe, everybody. See y'all
time.
next Sunday.